afternoon. We're the Spokane Parliamentary Procedures team. I'm Brandon McCoy, President.
Rebecca Sledge, Vice President.
Austin Gilman, Treasurer.
Lacey Lee Broughton, Secretary. And Tori York, Member.
This meeting of the Spokane chapter of FBLA is now in session. You may be seated. Ms. Secretary, will you please call roll?
Mr. President, when I say your name, say present. Mr. Brandon McCoy.
Present.
Mr. Austin Gilman.
Present.
Ms. Becca Sledge.
Present.
Ms. Tori York.
Present.
Ms. Lacey Lee Broughton. Present. There are 4 officers and 1 member present.
A quorum is present. Business may now be legally transacted. Ms. Leobron, will you please read the minutes from the March meeting?
The last meeting of Spokane High School FBLA was held on March 7, 2013 at 11:45 a.m. in the high school library. There were 4 officers and 1 member present. Brandon brought the meeting to order, and the minutes were read and approved as corrected. Austin read the treasurer's report, giving an ending balance as of March 7, 2013 of $527.93. Becca moved that our chapter of FBLA have a pizza night on the 2nd Monday of every month. After debate, the motion was adopted. Austin moved that our chapter of FBLA purchase chapter t-shirts. After debate, the motion was laid on the table. Tori moved that to adjourn. The meeting ended at 12:15 p.m. We ordered pizza after the meeting, as minutes were recorded by Lacey Lee Broughton, Secretary.
Are there any corrections to the minutes?
Mr. President,
Ms. Sledge.
I move to rescind and expunge from the minutes that our chapter ordered pizza at the end of the meeting.
It has been moved and seconded to rescind and expunge from the minutes that our chapter ate pizza at the meeting. Are those in favor of rescinding and expunging from the minutes? Please stand. You may be seated. Those opposed? The ayes have it, and the phrase, "we ate pizza at the meeting," will be rescinded and expunged from the minutes. We'll now move on to the treasurer's report given by Mr. Gilman.
The ending balance as of April 7, 2013 was $527.93. Since the last meeting of FBLA, the chapter spent $245 for the contract entries, bringing the current balance as of February 2007 to $282.93.
Are there any corrections to the financial report? Seeing none, it will be placed on file subject to audit. We will now have the Community Service Committee report given by Ms. York.
Mr. President, I move that the chapter rescind, accept my resignation as chairman of the Community Service Committee as stated before and will not be able to have my duties.
There is a motion that we accept Ms. York's resignation as chair for the Community Service Committee. All those in favor of accepting her resignation say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and Ms. York is relieved of her duties as chair, and I appoint Mr. Gilman to serve as chair of this committee. Seeing no further committee reports, we will now move on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business?
Mr. President,
Ms. Leobron.
I move that our chapter purchase chapter t-shirts.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to take from the table a motion that our chapter purchase chapter t-shirts. All those in favor of taking this motion from the table say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is now at hand that we purchase chapter t-shirts. Are you ready for the question?
Mr. President,
Ms. Leobron.
having chapter t-shirts would create a sense of unity within our chapter and encourage more members to join.
Mr. President,
Ms. Sledge.
unfortunately the shirts are against FBLA dress code, therefore we will not be allowed to wear them often.
Mr. President,
Mr. Gilman.
the t-shirts are only against dress code for state, national, and district competition. We'd be able to wear them to any community event that we do.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will proceed to vote. All those in favor that our chapter purchase chapter t-shirts say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it, and we will purchase chapter t-shirts. Is there any further unfinished business? Seeing none, new business is now in order. Is there any new business?
Mr. President,
Mr. Gilman.
I move that our chapter appropriate $350 towards the purchase of new digital cameras.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that our chapter appropriate $350 towards the purchase of a new digital camera. The chair suggests creating a blank by striking out the sum of $350. If there is no objection, a blank will be created. Seeing no objection, a blank is created, and the floor will now be open for members wishing to make a proposal. Any member making a proposal will be permitted to speak in favor of their proposal made. Are there any proposals?
Mr. President,
Ms. York.
I propose the amount of $500 because our tripod is in working condition, our lens is scratched, and our carrying case is falling apart.
Mr. President,
Ms. Sledge.
I propose the amount of $400. Yes, the tripod is a bipod at the moment. Yes, the lens is scratched. We are unable to take quality pictures. But the carrying case, it's shabby, but it works. We need to save as much money as possible.
Are there any further proposals? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. We'll vote in the order of $500, $400, and $350. The first amount to receive the majority will be the amount to fill the blank. We will vote by standing. All those in favor of filling the blank with $500, please stand. You may be seated. Those opposed, please stand. You may be seated. A majority vote has not been met, and the sum of $500 is rejected. All those in favor of the sum of $400 to fill the blank, please stand. You may be seated. Those opposed, please stand. You may be seated. A majority vote in the affirmative has been met, and $400 will fill the blank. The question is now at hand that our chapter appropriate $400 towards the purchase of a digital camera. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Gilman.
I wish to read a newspaper article stating the effects that a digital camera can have on a chapter like ours.
If there is no objection, Mr. Gilman will be permitted to read his article.
I object.
There is an objection. Please sit down, Mr. Gilman. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Gilman.
we live in a technological society. We need to have a digital camera to put anything on our website that we do.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will proceed to vote. All those in favor of appropriating $400 towards the purchase of a digital camera, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. The ayes have it, and our chapter will appropriate $400 towards the purchase of a digital camera. Is there any further new business?
Mr. President,
Mr. Gilman.
I move that our chapter hold a Veterans Day celebration in the high school gym.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that our chapter hold a Veterans Day celebration in the high school gym. The chair relinquishes his power for the duration of the meeting and affords Vice President Ms. Ledge to preside.
It has been moved and seconded that our chapter hold a celebration for veterans on Veterans Day in the high school gym. Are you ready for the question?
Madam President, I rise to a question of privilege.
State your question.
Due to a recent hunting accident, I've lost most hearing in my left ear. Could I move my chair over to that side so I can hear you better?
Yes, you may. Are you more comfortable now?
Yes.
The question at hand is that our chapter hold a celebration in the high school gym for veterans on Veterans Day. Are you ready for the question?
Madam President,
Mr. Gilman,
point of order.
state your
The maker of the motion has the right to speak first in debate.
point well taken. The floor is yours to you.
We could hold a breakfast before the celebration in the gym to honor those veterans.
Madam President,
Mr. Gilman,
we could also have a raffle for them on anything that they may need.
is there any further discussion?
Madam President,
Ms. York,
we could do a class and which I think will very much appreciate.
Madam President,
Mr. Gilman,
we could also give them a place to stay for that night because they might want to be together like they were back in their combat season.
Madam President,
Mr. McCoy.
I know of several veterans who would be interested in being keynote speakers for this event, and they'd love to speak in front of large crowds of kids.
Madam President,
Mr. Gilman,
I move that we suspend the rules on limit of debate by letting each member debate 3 times.
second. It has been moved and seconded to suspend the rules by allotting each member time, 3 speeches per member. This question is not debatable, but is amendable. Are you ready for the question? We will vote by standing. Those in favor, please stand. You may be seated. Those opposed? Seeing no objection, the motion passes. Is there any further discussion?
Madam President,
Mr. Gilman.
we could also during the day have a story time related to all of their battle experiences. Many people believe that they don't get enough credit for what they've done.
Madam President,
Mr. McCoy.
the band and choir have also expressed interest in playing songs at this assembly.
Is there any further discussion?
Madam President,
Ms. York.
I move that we lay this motion on the table.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to lay this motion on the table. We will vote by standing. Those in favor of laying the motion on the table, please stand. You may be seated. Those opposed, please stand. You may be seated. The ayes have it and the motion passes. We will lay this motion on the table. Is there any further new business? Are there any announcements?
Spokane Project Grad is holding a paddle party on April 29th in the high school gym at 6 p.m.
Are there any further announcements? Seeing none, this meeting of the Spokane FBLA chapter is now adjourned.